Did Corinne tell us about the Cartwright School for Cartwrights and the other outcomes of that, or was there not?
That conversation has not technically happened yet, but
But
I have
hey,
to go back to notes.
let's start off with everyone talk about what happened last game, and then we can get there.
Delightful.
Cool. So we found out that Say's mission was to kill Elena. And so that's probably fine. We still got Valor Company on its way to arrive this afternoon/evening. I've got some more details about what Valor Company was up to try to solve the negotiations between the miners and the mining company up north. Oh, and the Goliath who put the Gaius spell on Say had 3 diagonal lines on them, and they were those people were wearing masks with the 3 lines. That's miners, not miners.
And the masks were of, I'm scrolling to double check what the masks were of, devil faces or demon faces? Like,
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And it sure seems like the Caring Hands School might benefit if the Court of Miracles is destabilized, I mean. And also there do continue to be imposters out there trying to destabilize factions. It's all good. Corinne called upon Callie, provided some gifts for her niece and nephew, found out some more details about the Hawkwinter family. Callie knows about the Caring Hands School. Callie has been to a benefit. She found it to be kind of sus that they hadn't, there weren't any examples of student work, but she'd previously written it off as, they're new. And some more details about how the latest philanthropic cause among the nobility is helping out these poor disadvantaged children. We had a visit to go see Owry.
Oh yeah.
That was more than anybody bargained.
The fish party.
Yeah.
It's certainly a thing that happened.
It was. We got a glimpse into elven society and courtship that I don't think anybody really felt like they wanted to see, but they did anyway. Grimm opened their dossier. So now they know what there is to know about Renee Illian and the Illians. We'll see what they may or may not choose to do with that. Alina is definitely not hiding. She and Say Say and Alina have a romance novel to read. And what else did we do? We came up with a plan wherein we would continue to investigate the Caring Hands School, and Valor Company would investigate what in the world happened to Say.
And confirmed information sharing plans. Confirmed that Valor Company would share information with us. I don't actually remember. Let me double check whether that was agreed upon to be a bilateral circumstance.
I believe that
Say
just assumes that Grimm would, of course, share information with them.
I mean, that's an extremely reasonable thing for someone to assume. And I don't think Grimm is planning to not. I just don't think they said that they would, because that's how they roll. And Say can make maps, and nobody has any feelings whatsoever about having someone else at the tavern who is capable of developing strategy and making maps.
It's fine.
And then it was nap and nest time. No, nap and rest time.
Yeah, except for Aliana, who was keeping watch.
And is the new last call still at the tap? No, that was lunchtime, wasn't it?
Yeah, they came for lunchtime and left for adventures.
Good for them. Question mark. And it is still Monday, Uktar the 20th.
Alright, as you head into post-lunch, is there anything anyone would like to do?
I think Eliana is just going to continue her watch-keeping / occasionally working on her mystery novel editing project, but really she's just focused on watch-keeping.
I think. Let's see. I think Grim was upstairs. Would have been upstairs napping for long enough to get that spell slot back.
Yeah.
So I think Grim is going to cast Sending first to Lark and then to Bones, but it'll take me a second to compose those. So if Corinne has anything, or if Eliana wants to put anything on the screen of what she just said she was doing, I'm gonna have to write some stuff for a second.
I don't think Corinne has anything until the collective has regrouped. And then just general recovery from slamming into the wall that is entering Elf Society.
For kiddo. Six, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, here. Okay, so Grim will cast Sending to Lark. I will count the words again in a second, but the sending will be.
I strongly recommend wordcounter.net, by the way. That's what I use.
Oh! Do you have something? Fabulous, I'm lazy. Wordcounter.net. And I think they will sort of wander off on their own to do this. Okay, it's 26 words, so she's not going to get the last word. So they'll probably wander back up to the attic room to get a little bit organized at some point in between resting and when Valor Company arrives, and would cast Sending, and that's hello again. This is Bones' friend. Are you still well? Or can you tell us what they're teaching you? Thank you. Either. And then the way she would not get. That ruined it.
Okay. Give me a moment to compose a response.
Sending is such a good spell that makes for such
It's such a hard on the
scintillating
spot.
in the moment D&D. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you got a response. I am fine. Today we are learning figures, embroidery, and introduction to fine dining. Tell Bones to stop worrying about me. We are all right. Sorry, we are all right.
Okay. All right. So we'll then cast Sending to Bones and promptly not tell her that.
Boys,
Hi, dogs.
it's just a lever. Knock it off.
All right. Sending to Bones
Percy.
would be Grim here. Wondered out how you were getting on, looking into the school. Might have learned a few things ourselves. Come by the last call.
Actually, you're sniffing. Leave it, buddy.
All right, response. On my way. Need to check in with the cheeky Arcanist before I do. Expect me in the next hour.
Okay. And then so Grim would sort of pad around the house in search of Kren and Eliana and just let them know that Bones will be stopping by to check in regarding the school. And other than that, it will be chilling, attempting to take another short rest to the best of their ability and see if they can get those spell slots back before she shows up or after she shows up.
Sure.
So
Do
just
you
keeping it low key.
head down to the main tap room?
Sure would, yeah.
Okay.
And that's where Lenya is, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Lenya, early afternoon, Ilya arrives. She makes no effort to disguise herself, but does seem to be well armed at this point. Not armored, but definitely she's got a short sword strapped to her hip, as well as several daggers. And you would assume, having been friends with Corinne a while, several more daggers you probably can't see. With a heavy bag on her shoulder.
Okay, Lenya will look up from her book. Good afternoon.
It is afternoon.
Yes.
And where is my daughter?
Upstairs.
Fantastic. This shit is heavy. She
What
dropped
is it?
her armor and weapons and a shield that I borrowed.
She'll want that, yes. I want her to have it. Right, I can take you upstairs. And Lenya gets up.
Okay. Yeah. Ilya follows you upstairs. Do you have a sneaking suspicion of what room Alina is in, or?
She would probably be checking common areas first, like the second floor common area, and then the third floor library, and then the L-shaped room.
Sure. Yeah, second guess, the library. You open the door. Alina is reading out some very raunchy passage about, which appears to be from a romance novel.
Alina, your mother's here, or it's your mom. I don't remember which one you called both of them.
Alina looks up. She currently has, Say is on, not asleep. Say, in fact, lifts her head and turns bright orange at your mom is here. You gotta roll a dexterity saving throw for her. Give me just a minute. Oh no.
Oh, good.
Say, in her moment of, oh, what the fuck, falls flat on her ass on the floor with a natural 2. Even with, with her bonuses, that was not enough to rescue her from embarrassment. As Ilya, I mean, Lenya, with your passive insight, you get the faint, amused corners of her mouth. Like, she's not smiling, but she's working very hard to not be smiling at this. As Alina kind of sits up. Hello, Mama. Oh, is that my armor and such? And she just strolls over, like, this is nothing. Say is currently trying to disappear. As Alina just strolls over and grabs the bag. Well, that looks good. Thank you. And she puts it off to the side. I assume you are agreeing this is better for me to stay here for a little bit. Ilya nods. Well, we definitely have more healers at the Temple of the Raven Queen. I felt like it might be better for you to stay here. Helena nods. Great, I agree. The drinks are better here.
We do have that room for you here.
And the company is better too. Alina says and grins at Say, who is just like, you think that the rogue is trying to stealth into the floor?
Well, I dare say we do provide some nice company.
Ilya nods and arches an eyebrow at Say and then Alina. Right, but you will have to let your gunslinger go, I don't know, investigate something or quell some uprising or something. They have work to do. Unlike you, lazy bones. But everyone can sit around and read, what was that? Kiss from a Vengeance Paladin all day? Alina just chuckles. Yes, that's the one. I stole it. Ilya laughs. Yes, off of my bed table. Alright, be well. I'm going to check in with your friends.
I'm going to head back downstairs and keep watch some more.
Ilya gives you a nod, and she gives Alina a kiss on the cheek, a tight hug before letting her go. All right, go. And it's all right. I understand how charming paladins can be. By the way, gunslinger.
Lenya looks over her shoulder on her way down. Can paladins be charming?
What was that? I didn't catch that.
Can paladins be charming? She says with a grin.
Very. Surprisingly good singers, most of them. Good talkers, usually.
No, Rowena.
A lot of people find that air of command that they carry with them a little intoxicating.
Oh.
And you're saying this as she's following you down the hallway.
Interesting. Well,
Not quite as equal to bards, but certainly have their charms. Are your comrades resting?
they are.
Well, I am not Alina, so I will not shout up the stairs. And Ilya goes to go start knocking on doors.
Wait, she does start
Yeah.
knocking on doors?
Yeah.
Delightful. Well,
Excellent.
Grim I think had just headed downstairs, so I think Grim was
Oh,
probably,
yeah.
was probably in the kitchen when she entered. But
Probably just heading down the stairs. I'm going to say you guys meet on the staircase.
delightful. Is this before or
Oh.
after she starts knocking on doors? Because I know
Maybe
someone who's
before.
not moving about.
Probably just before, as she's like moving down, going to go down a hallway to go knock on some doors.
So Grim is padding about, like barefoot as they generally do, at home. Sort of stops. Probably maybe had come back upstairs or something. Sort of comes around the corner from the staircase, stops dead, like maybe her hand like poised over a door, and just like takes it in.
Yes, daughter.
And you said she was wearing armor as well?
She is not wearing armor, but
Okay, she was carrying. She's
she
armed.
definitely armed.
She was carrying armor. And I'm trying to remember. She was here. Was she here earlier in the day?
She has not
Or was
been
that
there
yesterday?
No, she hasn't been there since the attempt.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Time is a weird circle. And Eliana's with her, so just sort of stares at her, stares at Eliana for a moment, stares at her again. Can we help you? Hello?
Wonderful. I was looking for you as well, and Quarian. I was hoping you could brief me on what the hell is going on.
I was hoping we could as well. We only know so much. Hold on. Or, can you show us the Troll Skull, the Troll Skull map? I'm trying to figure out where I think this conversation Grim doesn't want to take us to the back to the tap room, and knows that Alina is or at least was in the library.
Give me just a minute, and I can put this in a different, hopefully different size.
That's right, because we're all zoomed in for our murder incident.
Well,
Fabulous.
A.
There we go.
For reference, not to scale, clearly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that second floor den area? That was Wander's room. Has that been claimed? That's not anything currently, right?
Correct.
Other than a second floor den.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. We'll glance at Eliana. Can you show her to the Wander's old space, the tower room? I'll fetch
Yes.
Corinne. We'll be there in a moment. Maybe
Yes.
2 moments.
Happy to bring you there, Elia.
Fantastic.
Corinne will keep going on right on up the stairs. Knock on Corinne's door, poke their head in.
They get them before they can poke their head in. They get them muffled. It's open.
I know. I was the last one out at. Well, now poke their head in.
She is face down on the bed with a pillow over her head.
Again. It's the
Oh, yeah.
principle of the It's the principle of the thing.
What?
Ilya is here. Had wanted to learn what we knew. You are still not required to get up if you are not ready to get up.
No.
But I wanted to let you know in case you would like to join us. Or they'll glance around the room, tone a little like dubious isn't quite the word. Sort of cautious. Suppose I could bring her here if you would prefer that. But
Nope. That's quite all right. And she pulls her head out from under the pillow and slaps her face a little bit, just the cheek pat. Pulls herself up onto her knees. All right. I'll be down shortly. Give me 2 minutes.
It's not all the way down. It'll be the den, so it's only the one flight. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
5 if you want. More if you want. All right. We'll pull back into the hallway, pause, poke their head back in. Not quite grinning, but almost. Are you sure you'll be able to walk that far?
I'll meet you there. Just go down. Close the door behind you.
Laughs and retreats before she can throw something and closes the door behind them. And makes their way to the den.
They do hear a soft thump against the door after it's closed of a pillow making contact.
Delightful. Yeah, and we'll join those in the den who are in the den.
There's a confused call from downstairs. Hello? Is Grim here?
That's Bones.
That is definitely Bones.
Hold on. Grim will accelerate their approach to the den and will knock on that door and poke their head into that room. Are Eliana and Ilya there yet? Are they doing anything?
I think they're there.
I figure they're probably there. There wasn't anywhere where there wasn't anywhere else where Eliana was gonna go, at least.
Then they'll poke their head in and clock the two. Bones is also here.
Ilya lifts her head. Really now?
Does she look like she? I guess that's.
She definitely recognizes it.
Did we get her name from Ilya in the first place?
No.
No. Who did we get her name from?
Karis.
That's right.
Ah.
Okay. Grim is assuming that Ilya, because Ilya seems to know everyone. Wondered if you know each other.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
Can I get a vibe check?
Yeah, you see her lean back in her chair. Yeah, roll a vibe check.
And I do one too.
Yeah.
That's not great. 11 for Grim.
11.
7.
A little better.
I mean, both of you pick up the same thing, and it's definitely like the epitome of the popcorn gif. Like, just like leaning back across. She was she was interested and curious and definitely like serious. But right now, something seems to. Lenya, you picked up this more than Grim. Something about. Oh, Bones is here. Well then, is definitely a thing.
Grim feeling like they like definitely getting that strong sense of that vibe, but feeling like they might be missing something, is going to glance at Eliana a little like, what am I walking into here?
Right.
At this point, Corinne enters.
Yeah, Corinne, vibe in here is not what you expected.
Right, well, is there any reason why you shouldn't be in the same room that we should know about?
No, I mean, I helped train her, so I am certain she would not be disappointed to see me. Maybe a little surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Why is everyone being weird?
It's very in these days.
It's true, it's all the rage, being weird.
There's a different kind of weird. The kind of weird that's in right now is the kind that's really over the top and just leaning in hard to whatever extraordinary eccentricisms you have. This is that degree of someone knows something that someone else doesn't know.
I do, but I want to see the look on that cat's face when she comes in here.
Oh, Bones is here.
Bones is here. Also, I was assuming they knew each other, and apparently I was correct about that. Now I'm trying to decide whether I should bring her up or maybe I'll go warn her and see what face she makes.
Darn.
And then we'll go from
You're
there.
going to keep Dizzy Face from us? That's not very sporting.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm
I want to
head
do this now.
downstairs.
Meanwhile, Corinne goes to like another easy chair and kind of like settles in with a similar popcorn expression.
I guess I go back downstairs.
Yeah.
As Bones like just at the bottom of the stairs, or
Yeah,
she found something else.
No, she's like kind of at the bottom of the stairs, like looking around, like there's definitely clear, like, I could jump up there and see what's up there. No, should I go in the tap room? No, like curious, definitely curious cat face. Like the temptation to poke around is real.
There. Thank you for coming.
Oh, of course.
Grim's face is probably a bit conflicted at this point. We were just meeting we were not meeting yet, about to meet upstairs with someone. I understand you have met Ilya? And watches Bones' face closely from behind your bangs and eye patch.
Hold on, I gotta do a charisma saving throw.
Fabulous.
Bones, like, blinks and goes, ah! Oh, alright. I haven't seen her in it's been a little bit. Sure. That's fine. That is...
Is it really, though?
It's so fine. Everything is fine. Let's just go meet with Ilya.
I believe she's expecting some sort of reaction, so I don't know if you want to give that to her or not.
No,
but...
I'd rather not. She'll read it anyway.
All right. Off we go. We'll lead back upstairs. Grim would not have closed the den door behind them. Would anyone have closed it to make the moment of opening the door, or is it still standing open?
Pretty sure it's still standing open unless someone went and
I don't think Lenya closed it.
Grim will instinctively has one hand raised as they approach the door, tucks it back into their pocket, steps into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we are. Waves Bones in.
Yeah, Bones straightens her back, squares her shoulders, and walks in. You see Ilya kind of smile at her. Inquisitor. So happy to see you again. Bones just nods. You as well, Ilya? And she sits down in a chair, at the end of the chair too.
Corinne is looking intently, between the two of them, as if she's at a tennis match.
Can I try to can I try to vibe check this dynamic?
Sure. Vibe check the dynamic.
Did they part badly? Is basically what Grim is looking for.
Sure.
Oh, that's much better. 17. Or or maybe that's probably too much for an insight check. But basically, is this really fine? Is Ilya really happy to see her again? If so, in what way? I mean, they both probably beat my insight all the hell with their deceptions, but.
Ilya is reading amused, not surprised. There's some sort of joke that you aren't quite picking up all of the pieces on.
That makes sense.
Bones looks like she is putting up a very good front of, we can all be very professionals right now. Right, so we're here to talk about the Caring Hand School, if I remember correctly.
That's correct.
Bones kind of perks up, pulls out a notebook, and a fountain pen.
Grim is trying to remember what Ilya knows about the Caring Hand School, and actually had just sort of run into Ilya, and you are here to talk about everything that is not that. Yeah?
And mostly what you've learned about is the attempt on my daughter's life. And you see Bones' pen just stop.
Grim will glance at Bones. Would you like to hear that part as well, or should we start with the other?
Right, so... Sure, we can start with that part. Ilya just smiles a little bit. We can even go get her. She's just upstairs.
I think there are enough people here.
I don't think we need to bother her for this.
Bones nods to you two. You're right. She's probably resting or something. We're good.
Corinne would like to insight check that vibe.
Yes, you may.
23.
It's awkward AF. Yeah. Corinne, the vibe that you're starting to read, just like popcorn eating, watching this like it's a drama playing out at a high level social encounter. Oh, yeah, Bones probably used to date Alina, or something there.
Grim is not
similar.
wondering that, but Hannah definitely is.
Or something similar. Maybe not dated, but something happened. And Ilya is definitely amused and knows about it.
Delightful.
Um,
Corinne is trying very hard to suppress this, like, Cheshire Cat grin.
There's a whole vibe thing going on with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ilya also has that amused look, like you've seen like older people who have known a professional person, but that she's known that professional person since they were like rolling around in mud pits at the age of 7. So there's also a little bit of that going on.
Yep. Amazing.
Especially with some of the stank she put on Inquisitor.
Amazing. Do we have any, like, in the den, are there any, like, dishes of, like, nuts or something like that?
Oh, yeah. There's snacks everywhere.
Great. Corinne reaches into the nearest one and grabs, like, a couple of nuts and starts munching.
Amazing. Meanwhile, Grim is just looking at Eliana and Corinne for help, since this sounds like the time someone needs to relay copious amounts of information, which requires copious words, and that's not my area.
As she finishes her first nut. So, they may be connected. We're not entirely certain. Although, so let's back up a moment. Start perhaps with the incident the other night. That might be the easiest point of connection. So yes, Say was under some sort of something, a high level spell. I don't know. But
I guess
that. And then she came here, was given the order to kill Alina, specifically. Apparently, the ones who found her had these atrocious devil masks or something. The rest of her company is on the way here to give us more details. It did or did not have the 3 lines on the and she's looking at the other 2 as, like, confirmation.
They did. The same 3 lines. Turned a bit, but otherwise the same 3 lines that were tattooed on Lark.
And Grim will draw, like 3 fingers sort of draw across their cheek in the sort of angled parallel lines that they remember Say describing.
Bones kind of nods. Well, it seems safe to say that these are at least too much in common to be chance, probably.
Grim nods
Right,
slowly.
we agree.
So we've got 2 scenes of the crime. We've got the school, and we have the forest where you said her name was Say.
Yes.
Right. So where this Say and her company were doing stuff.
Yes. Petite elf, red hair. She's actually recuperating here. So if you would like to speak to her, we can arrange that.
For as long as we can keep her, which is likely not long.
And they weren't. They were in about the same area. This campsite and the school. North of Waterdeep.
And have we had any contact with the people from the school? I mean,
not the people who run the school directly as of yet. All sort of gestures at probably Corinne. We've learned a bit more. I did speak with your Lark not long ago this afternoon, just to see if anything had changed. She said she is learning figures and embroidery, which I assume is standard fare for what this is supposed to be, yeah?
Pretty standard. It doesn't
She
sound
said they're-
suspicious at all.
She said they're all fine, and you don't need to worry. Grim shrugs.
Well, that's not help. That won't help me. I'm still going to worry.
Can I sort of retroactively think back? Grim's sense at the time was that Lark sounded like herself, but and
Sure.
had no reason to be not forthright. Can they think back and just try to get a sense of whether she was
Roll-
actually?
Yeah, I'll let you roll I'll let you roll a retroactive insight check, but it'll be at disadvantage.
Okay, that's totally fair. 12.
12. Nothing seemed remarkably off, but her affect was pretty flat. But also, she could be doing it in the middle of something else. So who knows?
Mm-hmm. And she doesn't really know me. I don't think Grim thinks
No.
if it was just a little flat. I think Grim thinks is probably chalking that up too. She's talking to this weird stranger who keeps talking to her.
Yeah.
So, okay. So they'll just sort of nod to Corinne, who probably they think has the most information about what we have learned about the school.
So the school seems it's fairly new. Sponsored currently by the Hawk Winters. Locally, they've held a couple of fundraisers. Interesting thing about the fundraisers that they didn't present any sort of proof of concept, so to speak. And normally there's sort of, the success stories of, oh, you come here and look at the things we teach them, the embroidery samples, and look at this lovely display of flatware that was laid out on this table so perfectly. They didn't have that.
Yeah, Ilya at this point kind of leans forward, more engaged in the conversation. You said it's the Hawk Winters?
Yes.
It's the Hawk
them.
Winters would be not. They run in the same circles as my mother. They would not be so much like fineries and look, it's these beautiful doily I embroidered. They would mostly be like, look, it's this training dummy I filled with holes in very specific areas.
Yes, they're a military family,
They are.
which is a bit odd.
For a finishing school to not sponsored by them to not be. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. Not be military, not be mercenary or something like that is highly suspect to me.
She said she was doing embroidery?
I think so. I think so. Figures, embroidery, fine dining, I suppose that's the flatware. It wasn't a long conversation.
Interesting. As the Hawkwooders are more associated with, talking to my sister, they're more soldiers, garrisons, protection. They've got a member of the Order of the Gauntlet in the family.
So you would expect that if they had a school, then it would have something to do with an army?
Military tactics, mercenary strategy, at minimum, make it
military history and yeah.
right.
I mean, I would expect maybe an officer. I wouldn't expect the Hawkwinters to run a school for. No offense. I would not expect them to run a school for lower class children. I have heard Lady Hawkwinter talk a great deal about the softness of the current batch of nobility, and has talked about schools and running a school, but specifically more for the upper class in order to toughen them the fuck up.
Do we know that the Hawkwinters are sponsoring it in particular, or whether they only sponsored this one fundraiser and someone else is? I don't think we know that yet, unless turns their head towards Bones.
Bones blinks and goes, "Oh, I do know that. It is the Hawkwinter School, and I haven't been able to trace any bribes with any I haven't been able to get any hard evidence of the bribes, but I've gotten some very soft evidence that payments are indeed happening for some schools to be, for their school to be an option for the kids who get caught with their hand elbow deep in someone's pocket, like you do.
Not if you're good.
Helios just laughs. Right, not if they're good, huh, Bones?
Ren picks up another nut.
Bones just sighs deeply. Right, Helia.
There's an
Do
awkward
we need to
pause.
speak to the Hawkwinters? What prep work could we do before speaking to the Hawkwinters?
The Hawkwinters aren't going to speak to us.
I think they might.
They might speak to you.
They might not. Well, they might speak to you. They might not speak to us, but they might speak to those adventurers who recently came into quite a lot of money and are known to have a soft spot for running out of words, just sort of gestures at the window at sort of the street.
Wouldn't they consider us competition in that respect?
They certainly don't want a school. Might want to sponsor one if they're raising funds.
Bones kind of raises her hand. So, they are having another party coming up shortly. Probably in the next 4 or 5 days. I can try and wrangle an invitation. I am an inquisitor with the city, so I might be able to get something. Through
4 or 5.
Go ahead.
4 or 5 days. I'd like to solve this before then, but if our current avenues of inquiry don't work, then I think we could try that.
Great. I can reach out to my contacts.
Would your contacts be able to wrangle an invitation that does not... if we want them to speak with us, I don't know that we want to be going in under the auspices of you.
Legit invitations.
No offense.
I can get it. I have a high-ranking noble informant in the city who can get me invitations to such things.
Grib nods.
Also, he hates parties, so he'd probably be happy to pass it along.
I think I hate parties too, but maybe between now and then I'll have recovered.
Will there be fish?
The menu, perhaps.
That's all right. All right. So there's that.
Sorry I wasn't able to find out more. I've been hitting the streets pretty hard, but everyone's been pretty tight-lipped about everything.
I would think if it were easy to find information on, someone would already have figured it out.
That's my thought. They're doing a very good job of covering their tracks. Well, you kind of nods. All right, and so you're going to investigate the school, yes?
She speaking to us or Bones or all the above?
To you all.
Grip nods. And we were going to investigate the school. We were thinking Valor Company would investigate what happened to Say, although if it's 4 or 5 days out and it's not that far north of the city, maybe it could be both. Kind of glancing at the rest of the group.
Well, is the fundraiser here in the city, or is it at the school?
Here in the city.
All right. So there could potentially be time to do a little bit of investigating and then turn back if what happened was 2 to 3 days north of here.
If you don't manage to wrap up your investigation by then, yeah?
The Valor Company coming in, we'll talk to them before we make any plans. Maybe they've solved it. Probably not, but maybe. Or at least enough information to make more decisions.
That would be nice.
How is the vibe now that we are talking business?
Oh,
Is it still
it's
hella
fine.
awkward, or is it
There-
marginally less awkward?
It's like the original like shock of it was awkward, but it seems like they're both at least professional enough that they can kind of settle into just having a conversation about business. Though it's very clear to see from like how Bones kind of holds herself and how she thinks about things that the training Ilya gave her is definitely apparent.
Grim sort of glancing at Eliana and Corinne, sort of lightly playful, or we could follow the necklace. Or the letters. Seem to like the letters very much.
We could.
No, please no.
Or not.
We cannot all do 7 things at once.
It's. Oh yeah, I wasn't being serious.
Grim's sigh is performative. Well, that sounds... There are worse things than a few days between. Alright. Is there anything else?
So if it's just you, just 3 of you going to the school?
We'll glance at the others. Did we want to go to the school before the fundraiser?
Is that not what we were just discussing?
Grim just blinks.
Like,
Anyway,
look
yeah,
of
it
genuine,
might have-
like that is literally what we were just discussing, right?
Might have gotten myself a bit tangled up.
Yeah, I think the idea was to see if we could get to the school grounds and back in time for the fundraiser.
Do we have a location?
Uh,
I don't think we do, though.
Bones raises
We
her
would,
hand
we
again.
would, we would need one.
I have a location. I have a map. And pulls out a piece of paper out of her book. It's a very rough map, but it does give a general location as to where the school is.
Grim will take the map. How far traveled does it look like it would be?
Give me just a second here to just pull up the map. So it is. Let me just move you guys to the map, because why not?
Ooh.
I hate that Waterdeep isn't on this map. That makes things a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's... I'm looking at the, Yeah, why isn't it on? This is, I'm trying to match it against the interactive
This
map.
is
Says Sword-
this is North Sword Coast.
Can
and-
you link me to that interactive map? Because, dear lord.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is impossible for me to look at and thank you. Just add this to my
Ooh.
bookmarks.
Oh, this is way
really.
north. This is up Leyland area.
Yeah, I don't know why it's on this map. Don't look at this map. In fact, I'm moving you back to the last call. Don't look at this map.
So we can't be led astray.
Alright, where's Waterdeep? That's Baldur's Gate.
It's like mid-north.
Yeah. There's Waterdeep. Oh, stop being... Waterdeep is there. Near Amphale.
Oh, that's close. Fabulous. Just a little bit northwest.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's like due north of Waterdeep.
Okay. The map thinks it's about 2 days travel.
That sounds about right, yep.
Fabulous. Normal travel 2 days and 2 hours. On foot fast 1 day and 6 hours. Then there's a sailing. Then there's lots of boat distances, but that doesn't apply because this is overland travel. Good news though, if we had Griffin, it would only take 8 hours. And that's a rough estimate. So, but about 2 days and back. So Grim will study the map for a few minutes. About 2 days in each direction. A little less if we move fast. We'll glance at Corinne, sort of trying not to be too smiley, but sort of faintly smiley. Faster if there's horses, but please no horses.
Just going to suggest horses.
Do you really want horses? Eliana, how do you feel about horses?
I'm alright with horses, but we would all need to be okay with horses.
Like visibly thinking it through. Maybe lightly pleading look at Ilya. 2 days each direction seems cutting it close for the fundraiser.
Ilya nods. Well, I guess you will have to reach out to your allies. If you would like.
I can try.
Or you could find someone maybe with horses.
Very gentle horses. Glancing around, I certainly don't know anyone with horses. Like a little bit, like putting on a little bit of their bravado.
God. Oh, Corinne for sure would know people with horses.
Sure.
Like her
Oh,
family
yeah.
raises horses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So is that a yes to horses, or like enjoying this conversation?
If you can find very, very, very gentle horses, I'm willing to consider it. Both gentle and fast, I think. Is that like looking like maybe just slightly ill? Just slightly. Is that a thing that can be done, or is it one or the other?
It can be done.
Is there, I mean,
Well, it'll-
you just need a good horse with a good temperament.
Didn't usually get to hold those. There's quite a lot of biting and stomping of my feet.
No, not everyone who raises horses knows how to raise horses.
No.
All right.
I'll put some feelers out.
If this comes to us, I can talk to my mother about loaning you all some horses from her stables. But, Grim, if you are not a fan of horses, you will not like these horses. They are a lot of horse.
I think we'll stick with other horses.
Yeah. I mean, they're good temperament and very fast, but they are a lot of horse.
As in size-wise, or just...
Yes.
But,
I do love being a very long way from the ground as well. It's just one of my favorite things.
they're joking, just in case.
Both the Inquisitor rogues in the room kind of nod, like, yeah.
All right.
The Tabaxi just shakes her head. I wouldn't recommend. They're very tall horses. They're huge, and kind of terrifying.
No, I'll put some feelers out. I'll look for... I wonder if I could sneak some of my parents' horses out.
Would you have to sneak?
And as long as I don't have
Just
to walk... As long as I don't have to go past my grandparents, it should be fine.
Nods. All right. I think I hear Calendra calling, and walks out.
I don't think she... Alright.
Going to go find Calendra. Not for any purpose, but just this has gone from bad to worse, right? Right? They're gonna find Calendra and get their story straight.
Sure. Yeah, Calendra's in the kitchen. She's setting the menu for that evening's dinner.
If anyone asks, I've used you as an excuse, and you needed me to check on the menu, so let me have a look, please. We'll look over her shoulder.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Like,
She holds
pick
up.
a random suggestion about like swapping two sides.
Yeah, there's
Thank
like
you.
mashed turnips and roasted chicken, and there's a fish option.
Of course, there's a fish option.
It's Waterdeep. It's like a fish stew.
That sounds delicious. Oh, I wonder if this is the fish stew recipe that Grim brought back from Leyland. I bet it is.
It is 100% that recipe.
It is. I had forgotten about that recipe existed.
So
Okay.
would I.
Yeah, so Grim will be lingering in the kitchen for the next few minutes.
Easy enough. Bones kind of watches Grim bolt. Okay, so that is a thing. I didn't do anything to offend him, did I? Or them? Did I? Like,
No,
Oh,
there was conversation that happened for longer than a set period of time. That was essentially your offense.
okay,
It's fine.
all right,
Don't worry about it.
sure. Well, I was gonna offer if you all need any help with investigating the school, I can definitely assist with that.
I think we'd absolutely take you up on that
I
from an
think
efficiency
another-
standpoint.
I think another set of eyes would be good to have.
Great. I can do it. Or if you wanted to ask someone else, three seems like three is a pretty unlucky number where I'm from. I strongly recommend adding a fourth. Like just round it out a little bit.
All right. Well, you're absolutely welcome to assist and join us.
Sure. I'm just throwing my hat in the ring. I know you've got other friends. And she kind of motions to the door. As Ilya just kind of chuckles. She's saying that if you bring Alina, she will not come.
I figured.
Right.
I figured. Do you
As
infiltration of the school probably was not going to be Melina's strongest suit. She'd be very good at stabbing and smiting and liches and bitches and sort of things. Infiltration, I think, will want you.
Bones kind of nods. Sure. I'll have to tie up some loose ends in the city, but just keep me posted when you want to leave. I am pretty flexible.
Excellent. I'd imagine probably first thing tomorrow morning, if we're looking at a 2-day journey there and back. That gives us a little bit of time today for me to source some horses and for us to get a chance to talk to Say's company to see if there's any additional information we can get from them before we head up north.
Eliana nods at that timeline.
Sounds good. That's fine then. Cool. She just stands up. Yeah.
Grim will probably return to the room at this point. Their plausible deniability established.
How's Kalindra?
Helped her with the menu a bit.
How does it look?
Fish stew tonight, but we moved the mashed turnips from it was the chicken to. Was it the chicken to the roast or the other way around? We switched them.
I was going to say, if you'd like to go back and double check to make sure.
Maybe in a minute. Did I miss anything? Are we done talking about horses?
We're done talking about, well, for now. I'll be going to source some later this evening. We're planning on leaving tomorrow morning for the school.
Very good.
Those will be joining us.
Bones just
Very
waves.
good. Grim looks a little confused, but not mad about it. Like they're not sure how this happened, but they're not opposed. Very good. If we're leaving the city, kind of glancing between, I think probably mostly looking at Ilya, but also kind of glancing at Eliana intermittently. If we're leaving the city, we have like sort of visibly uncomfortable swallows, shifts, leans back against the wall. We have lost our failsafe. If something should go wrong while we're in the city, the court's right there. Is there anything that we could take with us, just in case?
What?
Ilya just chuckles. A cleric? Maybe?
Oh.
Yes.
Grim nods, or anything that isn't a whole person, but maybe a person if that's what's on offer, or like still shifting, kind of staring at their feet.
I could just send the Ariel.
Ariel did say that he wouldn't let us.
I'm sure we'll be fine. We're just going on a stealth mission. Gathering information, figuring out what is going on here. We're not planning to attack anyone.
Paladins can also heal, for what it's worth.
Not planning. If you think it would, I'm not saying we have to worry. I'm just.
I'm not taking him up on that so soon.
He's probably very busy.
Yes.
Again,
Yes.
This is a stealth mission. We are not going to be engaging in combat if things go well. If they go poorly, we run. We have horses, they're fast.
Can't decide if this makes me feel better or worse about the horses. All right. All right. Like,
So we want to tell him that we're going, I think.
sounds like there's the rest of the day for that. Very good.
Yeah, if I go, can someone else keep watch?
Are we keeping watchful?
Assassins?
Well, the rest of our company's on the way.
I think everyone here is keeping watch
Alright.
very near all times. So I think that's covered. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go drum us a few horses. Bones, would you like one, or are you sourcing your own?
If you can provide a horse, that'd probably be best. I can ride. But I don't own a horse. I just kind of walk everywhere.
Right. Excellent. 4 horses then. For about a 4-day period. And we all set. Excellent. And Corinne gets up to go find some horses.
As she gets up to head out, Grim will drop into Awakened Mind, kind of teasing. Are you glad you got up after all?
She ignores it and walks out the door.
Should have come faster after the popcorn eating part of the occasion.
Ilya stands. Alright. So, that sounds like that. Reach out to the court if you need anything. We will be happy to help. I would prefer Alina stay here, if possible. It feels slightly safer. I mean, it's 50-50. I could take her home. I'll leave it up to you all.
And she's staying in the L-shaped room, which is not Kiss's room. So Grim will nod. That's all right. Think she's welcome here?
She has certainly made herself at home, at least.
She has. She has.
I feel like if she's here, she's less likely to make some less than wise choices regarding her own safety.
Why would being here make a difference?
If it's here, she can just classify all of it as downtime. If she is at the court, she will work.
Grim nods, sort of comprehending.
She will go, "It's fine, I'm just going to work a little bit. I'll be wearing my mask, no one will know."
And then she would be carrying or on a stretcher within the hour. Not because of... and I think makes a connection now, makes one finger gun. Oh, buddy.
Leon.
Just because that's her work.
Correct. But this time, if she's here, we can bill it as a mandatory vacation.
There's some more of those terrible books around if she should run out. So I think we can keep her amused, at least for a bit.
At least for a bit.
Don't know if she'd be wanting to stay once. I believe Say was planning to leave with Valor Company. And then a brief look of horror before they get their face back under control. Or will they be expecting to stay as well?
That's it. I don't think they would be expecting to stay.
We can't host all of them.
Grim nods vehemently.
Okay, though. It's okay.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
It's all right, really.
He's got a sensitive
Liam is gonna Liam.
he's got a sensitive tummy, and he's been having some tummy troubles today, and decided he was too big for potion, so he made me drink his potion. I don't understand.
Oh.
There's
Poor kid.
some toddler logic there.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Let's take a quick 5-minute break, everybody.
Sure.
That works.
Oh, buddy.
Poor guy.
It's almost like parents are not designed, but like it's almost like not being able to ignore
Yeah,
child.
it really
Crying
is.
is a whole chemical and biological thing.
Yeah, really is. And like logically, I know Sam's in there with them, and if I even if I even walked in the room, Leah would go, "No, go away." But holy
But the
moly,
lizard brain is still
Lizard
like,
brain is like,
but yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like losing my train of thought mid everything.
Yeah. It's extremely fair.
I'm muted because I'm eating crunchy things,
Oh, no worries.
but there won't be too many more of them.
I'll give it another minute or let's give it to 7:40.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
It looks like it's starting to wind down a little bit, so.
Fingers crossed for everyone's sake.
Nope. And it's back.
Your mic isn't picking it up at all. That's impressive.
It's
It
But
truly.
not helpful in the room. Yeah.
yeah, he's not he's in the bedroom with the door closed, and it's like just enough that I can hear him, which also sets my brain on fire. So I'm like, just
Oh.
I'm like, no, he's fine. Sam's in there with him, but at the same time, I'm like, my concentration is constantly broken.
Mm. Extremely fair.
The problem is when they get to this age, you can tell the different types of crying apart.
Mhm.
And so if it was just I'm mad crying, I could probably phase it out, but it's definitely like I am hurty crying. So
Oh,
it's like brain.
poor guy.
Mm.
All right, let's try and keep going with the understanding that I might be a little off kilter.
Extremely fair.
Okay. I'm feeling a little off kilter myself without the excuse of a toddler, so.
All right, so I believe.
And I think Hannah said that they are on their way. Oh, there they
I'm
are.
back again, yes. But I only just heard the very tail end. I heard okay.
Yeah.
And then I unmuted and I put my headset on.
We're gonna try and continue on for a little bit longer, but with the understanding that my concentration is spotty at best.
Extremely fair. Okay.
So,
So
list of things that people want to get done before they leave in the morning.
We need to find us some horses.
Right.
Lenya's got to do a Court of Miracles trip and let Uriel know that she's going out of town for a few days.
Sounds good.
and Grim has nothing other than talk with Valor Company when they arrive.
Okay.
So they'll just be hanging out.
So let's pick up with Court of Miracles.
making her way down.
Yeah, easy enough to find your way.
As I
You've
hide Discord.
been there a couple of times now.
Yeah,
Um,
been there a couple of times, knows roughly where she's going. Though, of course, with the understanding that your role could be just about anywhere. Yeah.
yeah, you're waved in. Unfortunately, without an Alina, it's a little harder to find Huriel. But
Nina does have a sense of a way of making things be found.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think that she'll check in on the medical wards first.
sure. And in the trauma clinic, you find him. You know, robes off, sleeves rolled up, kind of, with this almost torture-looking advice. With some, it looks like to just set someone's shoulder, as he's like, "All right, count of three. We're going to do this on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and he cranks this lever around, and you hear the pop as this guy's shoulder pops back into place, and the guy screeches. Zuriel's like, I know it hurts a great deal, but I promise it'll feel better after a couple days now that it's been set. He looks up, he sees you, gives you a wave. Alright, you puts this man in a sling, trying to give him something for the pain, nothing too serious, preferably a good shot of brandy and maybe some willowbark. And I'll be back. Kind of washes his hands and heads over to you.
All right. Hello.
Hi. Wasn't sure if I'd be seeing you anytime soon. Sorry about all that.
You were working. I interrupted your work. We are going to go north. Investigate the school and what we think might be happening. So I don't think you'll be seeing me for several days.
Well, I'm not surprised. I am disappointed to not be seeing you for a few days, but I understand that's your job.
Yeah, and you have your job too. So, I didn't want to, couldn't just run off without telling you where we were going. And I can stay down here for a little while. Valor Company will be coming this evening. I'll want to be back for that, but I should have time to. I could work beside you for a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't say no to that. Had a bit of it problems at the docks, and unfortunately we've got quite a few in the trauma ward at the moment.
Oh dear, alright.
Grab an apron, it might get bloody.
She nods. She goes to get the apron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like these
yeah.
like workman's aprons that are made of like a leather material, hanging near the front. Grab one. Easy enough.
Yeah.
And work in the trauma ward with Uriel.
Yeah. I think, as with before, she uses some of her magic and some of her medicine skills.
Yeah,
Combination of the two.
sure. Yeah, you find out that looks like there was they were loading a large shipment, cargo shipment with like a lift, and the lines on the lift broke, and just cargo smashed, crates falling down from the sky. So
Oh no. Oh, all right. Accidents happen. That's what we're here for.
right, exactly. So a lot of that, a couple of head injuries, but it looks like Uriel did a good job with triage. Yeah, guys are elbow deep and broken arms and smashed noses and twisted ankles and all the fun stuff.
All the work to be done.
All the work to be done. Meanwhile, Grim, you get a message.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, interesting.
So, we crashed the boat, the flying boat. We're okay, but we probably won't get there until tonight, so that's a thing. Ken.
Is this Felix?
It's Felix. I'm doing my best.
Yes.
No, you're good. I was initially like, it doesn't sound like Alistair, and then I realized why.
So there's only one person in the party that has sending.
No, it's fabulous. Okay, no, that's a pretty good Felix. a little more Valley Girl on it, but yeah, no, that's, and I think I'm not going to ask you to send it because I think Grim got as much of it as I got. So we'll fix that in post. So Grim receives a sending. And just is probably in the middle of that's oh, it's so beautiful. It's probably like in the middle of the tavern, like they often do bus tables or something, so they probably just like stop dead in the middle of the tavern with like a loaded tray and just like stand there for a good 15 seconds, and then will reply. Can you repeat that? Because they basically got, we crashed the boat and that's it.
Sure. So you get a response. Tellison says they didn't come through all the way, so we crashed the boat. Can you tell Say we've been held up a couple?
I bet Dallas told Felix all about it, absolutely. Grim will respond, yes, and that's it.
It's so unfair.
And then we'll proceed to put the goes to drop the tray off in the dirty dish delivery area, and we'll head upstairs. We'll start with the library. Are Say and Alina still there, or have they moved on?
They are still there. They are no longer cuddling on the chair like they were. They appear to have resolved themselves into a more proper situation. Sitting next to each other rather than on top of each other.
I mean, Grim, of all people, isn't gonna judge.
Say might be a little gun shy after Ilya just walked in and went, oh, yeah.
Extremely fair.
Alina doesn't give a fuck, but...
Grim walks into the library, still looks a bit dazed. Your group... And then, like, look of recognition. I can't remember if Alistair No, Alistair said we're flying. Didn't say anything about a boat. I don't think Grim remembers that there was a boat involved.
No.
So just walks in looking a bit dazed. I thought they were flying. Why is there a boat?
Say lifts her head from Alina's shoulder and blinks for a moment. Stands up. What?
Grim will wave her to sit back down. They're still. I was going to say they're not coming. They're still coming, but they're delayed.
What did they do to my boat? I mean, theoretically.
No, they did say to tell you they crashed it. They said they're okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
They didn't say if the boat was okay. Would you like me to ask?
No, if it is okay, Alistair will fix it, and if it's not okay, then there's nothing I can really do about that.
All right. They said they're delayed. Won't get here till tonight. So I think the delay was likely a couple hours rather than a couple days. He talked very quickly. There were very many words. I may have missed some of them.
Felix
I certainly missed some of them.
Yeah, Felix is one of our newest members. He's a brilliant. There's a lot of words, though. Yes.
Grim is like waiting to find out what Felix is a brilliant. And just sort of nods. Do you two need anything? We'll be serving dinner brought up here. We don't normally do that, but I've offered now, so we can do it if you would like tonight.
Say just like shakes her head. No, we'll come downstairs. We're not invalids. Alina's like, I am not in hiding, but I'm kind of in hiding, so...
It wasn't that I thought you're invalids, I just thought it might be nice.
Say looks confused, and Ilya...
Grim also looks confused, and
Ilya
starts
just
backing up towards the door.
We will come down for dinner. I promised we would go to dinner. In public.
Is downstairs public, or are you leaving?
Oh, no, downstairs is public. It's open to the public.
Grim nods. All right, I'm going to go switch sides around again. I'll let you know if I hear anything else from anyone else regarding your boat.
Say just
And
nods.
stands there for a moment longer, still looking dazed, and then leaves.
Yeah. I checked our informal kind of conversations. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure that Felix is the only person with sending in Valor Company.
I certainly haven't seen anyone else use that,
So.
and I don't think it's on anyone else's list. So yeah, delightful.
And I feel like them crashing that boat was an inevitability. Especially with top speed Taliesin.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Fabulous. Alright.
Yeah, Grim's gonna wash those dishes. That'll be there for the next little while.
For the Mcathras.
Yes.
So you just heading in, taking some horses and heading out?
I think so. If anybody stops me, I'll just kind of look at them like, I grew up here. And just keep on going.
Sure. Why don't you roll me a persuasion check as one of the stable hands is like...
16.
Yeah, he's... It's a matter of just walking in like you own the place, and him rolling a 5 on insight. As you just kind of walk in, take 4 horses, and walk out. You don't. I'm sure you're like getting them. Yeah, I mean, honestly, snap your fingers, and like a couple of grooms are there to saddle them, get them all set up.
Yeah, get the tack all situated.
Yeah.
And I'm very specific about, like, I want this one, not that, God's not that one.
Yeah.
We'll take the sable, and then, like, once she's made her selections,
Yeah.
just is on her merry way.
Yep. Walk in, walk out. And you know, probably more hunting horses that are made for hunting, so you get the speed and the
Yep.
calmer disposition. I know fuck all about horses, so.
Yeah, I mean, hard same.
I mean, hunting horses would be a good choice, since many people who go hunting are often fairly intoxicated at the time. So at least one of them is probably like gonna be able to take Graham without
Needing a lot of
killing
guidance.
them.
Yeah. Hunts in Waterdeep are, yeah. No one actually goes hunting.
No, one person goes hunting, and it's Ilya, but she takes her own horse.
Yep. And everyone else is like, why is she? Whatever.
That's why she doesn't get
Pass the
invited.
wine.
That's why she doesn't get invited to hunts anymore. She's like, I bagged an elk, and everyone's like, why did you kill it? And she's like, because we are hunting.
But we already have dinner. Why is it's whatever. It's fine. Pass the champagne.
I feel like that's very quickly how Ilya got just kind of blackballed from society.
Delightful. So now we have horses.
You have horses. I assume Tolskov Manor has, like, stables, and it's easy enough to get them set up.
Yeah.
Like, rent a groom.
Let's go with that.
Hire someone.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy.
I feel like we have enough urchin connections that we can find a. If Colindra doesn't know how to manage horses, she's busy with the tavern, but I feel certain that we can find somebody to feed and muck for the day.
Oh yeah, easy enough. Max, what are you? Can you not act out right now? Sorry.
No worries.
Sam left the wrapper for an ice cream bar on his desk.
Oh, that's just...
So, I'll be right back. I gotta deal with that.
Very tempting.
Okay. Good luck.
We have horses. I missed, actually, somebody said I didn't get audio of the very first part of that. She walked in the stable after the horses rolled their persuasion check. Did I miss anything?
Oh, just the one stable hand that kind of came out to protest. She was like, I grew up here.
Yeah. Basically. It was very easy to steal these horses.
Yeah.
Delightful. And was this her parents' stable, or like the family stable, or?
Yeah, the family stable.
Delightful.
Yeah. The renting room in place, like a rent-a-cop, but fancier. Horses stabled. Dinner service on. Eliana, you finish up a pretty busy shift with Uriel. You end the day with, I mean, you're down to like ouchies and boo-boos, as he often promises and says he does. Right, that was a good one as far as rushes go.
It was more than I expected down here, but there are injuries everywhere and every day, and this was just one of them. So,
Unfortunately, Coleman, I think I'll speak to my auntie about maybe speaking to someone on the docks about getting better ropes. This is the second time this has happened.
interesting. Yeah. That would be good for them to do. It's better if we have fewer people turning up down here to start with.
Right. I prefer slow dose.
Right. I do too.
So, can I walk you back? I don't have anything planned for dinner. I wouldn't mind maybe eating at the last call.
Yes, please. Your aunt is up there now. And we'll have a lot of company. In between Alina and Say, Ilya and Valor Company, and my friends.
Okay. So, sorry to do this, everybody. At that point, as everyone kind of sets up for dinner, we're gonna have to call it for tonight.
Understood. Poor Liam.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to run.
These things happen.
I need to run to CVS and get him some meds.
Okay.
Okay,
Take care.
yeah.
Hope he feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so too, and yeah.
Yeah, there's a very specific med that will solve it very quickly, but we're out of it, so.
Mm.
Yeah. You do what you've got to do.
Yeah, sorry for the short game, but we will.
Things.
Maybe next time will be super long. Max, your opinion is not required right now, but I appreciate the thought. Okay?
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, also the puppies are stressed out and acting out because they
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
hey mom, do you
Sounds
not hear the
intense for
baby crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll get Valor Company next time, or we'll get them in a dock if that sounds like it would make sense. Whatever makes sense.
No,
I
we
hope
can do it. We can do it live. I will study up.
Cool.
Probably going through Valor Company withdrawals at that point. Max,
Oh.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. I think we might have some side chat room depending on what folks want to do, and
Yeah.
sleeps.
for sure. Yep.
Delightful.
Keep me posted if there's any side chats that people want to do, just so I can look at them. I don't care
Yeah.
if you do them. Have fun.
Huh.
All right, I'm
Sounds
gonna go
good.
take care of the baby.
All right.
Good luck, Heather.
Good
Thanks.
luck.